Following a number of shooting deaths in New Mexico, including that of an 11-year-old boy just last week, the governor declaring gun violence a public health emergency and issuing a 30-day ban on publicly carrying guns in our state's largest city and its surrounding county.
So let's bring in New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. Thank you so much for being with us today, Governor. And let's just get right into it. You have received a lot of backlash, including lawsuits from gun rights groups questioning the constitutionality of this order. Some Republican lawmakers are calling for impeachment. So I'm curious, what made you want to take this action?
Well, you just basically said it, Eva. Everyone is terrified of the backlash for all of these political reactions. None of those individuals or groups focused on the actual injuries or deaths of the public that they are also, by the way, constitutionally sworn to serve. They aren't making the improvements. They aren't dealing with this as the crisis that it is. And I'm the only person, it's a little bit of an exaggeration. The Archbishop and some other high-profile political leaders have said it is time to focus on the children and families of New Mexico. And I, frankly, have the courage to take the stand to make everyone in our community safer. And
Governor, speaking of backlash, the sheriff of the county affected by the temporary ban calls it unconstitutional and says there is no way that his office can enforce it. Governor, it's not being enforced. If it's not being enforced, rather, what purpose does it hold?
Well, we're always going to debate enforcement. I do it for every single constitutional act, including this one that I believe is constitutional. And we'll let a fact finder. None of these rights are absolute. We go to a judge, a fact finder. He's not a fact finder. Again, I think all too often some of the leaders in law enforcement worry about the backlash from the NRA and others and use enforcement as an effective, they believe, way to sort of stall out. Look, I respect Sheriff Allen. He's done what I need him to do, which is to get more incredible police officers and sheriffs on the streets. I need this to be worked out in a very aggressive manner. And not having guns on the streets is an evidence-based way to make everyone safer. And I will tell you, bad actors, organized crime, the cartel hide in plain sight, because how do you know who is a threat and who isn't? And how would you feel in a city or a community if people had handguns in their belts on parks, near schools, on public trails, at the grocery store? If you went to a baseball game, like Froylan Villegas' family, it's outrageous and it must stop. And I will keep doing everything that's based in science and fact and public safety efforts to clean up our cities, to make this the safest state in America, and I will not stop until that's done.
And some of the criticism that you're getting is from members of your own party. Your state's AG, a Democrat, says that he's not going to defend this emergency order. He writes in a letter, simply put, I do not believe that the emergency order will have any meaningful impact on public safety. But more importantly, I do not believe it passes constitutional muster. What's your response to that?
The same as my response for some of the other individuals. No offer of solutions to this crisis. Was the DA in this community, which is the third most dangerous from gun-related injuries city in America, 90% higher than the national average. And I hope that the public's response is, if we don't have elected leaders to have the courage to stand up for children, I don't know why we're electing individuals who aren't going to stand up for the people who need us to make sure they're safe and protected. Now, I am beginning to get, solutions, which is exactly in addition to keeping the streets safer, kind of a cooling off period, arms around. It's not just the firearm issue. The public health order will evolve and has a number of other requirements, including why aren't we arresting individuals who are openly distributing and using fentanyl? I need everyone focused on the high-risk issues in that community and dealing with it immediately. And again, I'm not asking for all of these, sort of political machinations and debates. What I'm asking for is make Albuquerque and the rest of the state safer. For every 11-year-old, 5-year-old, we lose 3
Thank you,
kiddos
Governor. We're out of time.
a
We'll
month.
be right back after this.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.